Hello and welcome back to the Learn Graphics channel. In today's video, you're going to learn how to create this business card. You will also learn how to create mockups of it and prepare it for print. So if it sounds like something you are interested in, let's get started. Let's create our document. We are going to specify our sizes in inches, and instead of using the usual dimension 3.5 by 2, what I want to do instead is use 3.75 and 2.25. So I'm adding 0.25 across. And the reason I'm doing this is that in Photoshop, you're not allowed the option to set bleeding for your document, but I want to do it manually. So that bleeding space of 0.25 that you would normally add when you're doing something like that in, let's say, Illustrator or InDesign, I'm doing that manually in here in Photoshop, and hence that 0.25 addition to the dimensions. I'm going to just go ahead and click create. Now that I have got my dimensions a little bit bigger than the usual 3.5 by 2, now we need to set in the guides. I could do this by just dragging to see if I could find the right spot, but I'm going to do that with the new guide feature in Photoshop. So with new guides, you can specify guides at particular places. Let's say if I do 200, I'm going to set a new guide at 200. And the only problem here is I'm not working in pixels, so I need to change my dimensions for the ruler to inches, and you can do that from your preferences panel when you go to edit and you choose preference. Right, so now that I've set my rulers unit to inches, I need to clear these ones. So I need to clear these rulers. So view and clear guides. Now I'm going to specify a guide, and at the beginning I want it to be 0.25, right? Because that is the extra amount of dimension that we added. So filter, and let's see, this is my X and this is my Y. So on my Y, I'm going to specify 0.25. When I go to view and I go to new guide, horizontal, vertical. So it's on the vertical, and I want it to be 0.25. Yeah. And no, hold on. If I set this to 0.25 and it is just chopping off one side, and I come to set another 0.25, then it means we have taken 0.5 rather from the whole page. And so what I need to do is split 0.25 into 2. 0.25 divided by 2, and that is 0.1. Okay, so that is what I need to be doing. And so view, new guide, 0.125. Yes, that is it over there. And to get the next one for this side, the whole thing has been set to 3.75, so it has to be 3.75 minus 0.125. 3.75 minus 0.125. So our next guide should be at the point 3.625. And so yeah, view, new guide, 625. I need some lighting here. 3.625. Good. So now 0.125 and another 0.125 will now give us that 0.25 we added as extra width to the dimension of the document. And I'm going to do the same thing for the horizontal one as well, and that is 2 point new guide on the horizontal, and it's going to be 0.125. Boom. And the next one should be 2.5 minus 0.125. Point 5. 2.25 minus 0.125. My next guide should be around 2.125. And so view and new guide and 2.125 and okay. And there we go. We have created what we have now created is our bleed, right? So we can be sure that whatever we are putting here will not necessarily be will not be part of the document, but what is going to do is prevent the edges of our document to be white, right? We don't want that. We want it to be exactly what we design. All right, so that is your bleed space, and now we need to set margin space. We are going to use the same 0.15 for our margin, and the margin space is that space where, I mean, the safe margin space, right? That's safe where you feel safe that whatever you're putting there will come in the document and no part of it is going to be chopped off. So to set the margin space, we do the same thing. 0.125 plus 0.125 is 0.25. So view new guide 0.25. That is for the horizontal. And I'm going to do 2.25 minus, okay, so that's going to be 2. And view new guide at 2. Great. And I'll do the same for this side as well. So here we can allow the background to extend to these portions, knowing and hoping that the one who is going to cut will now cut right on these lines, which are the cut lines, right? And will not overstep those lines. So when you set your cut lines, you can be sure that the one who is going to cut will be experienced enough not to cut beyond the cut line. And if they are not, and they cut more than they are supposed to cut, something like this, you are now going to be saved by the safe margin, right? So that even if the one who is doing the cutting is drunk to the drunkest level, they are not going to extend all the way from the bleed all the way past the cut line and get past the safe margin to now come and cut your logos and your other content as well. So that is why you want to set up all these things first. All right, in the description I've left this action file that when you play you can quickly generate print marks without having to go through all the process that I went through.